some background, okay?
Mm-hmm.
In psych class, we are studying the topic of delayed gratification, the ability to postpone an impulse for an immediate reward in order to receive a more favorable reward later. For this topic, we read about the marshmallow test. The test is an experiment that measures a child's ability to delay gratification. The child is given the option of waiting a longer time for their favorite treat or receiving a less desired treat instead. Researchers of the experiment continued the experiment 40 years later with the same group of people, and the group that patiently awaited the second marshmallow were successful in whatever capacity they were measuring. So, do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, on the topic of delayed gratification, through your many years of working with young athletes, how have you seen kids manage delayed gratification in athletics?
Wow. I think athletics itself, if you're an athlete looking towards a goal, it is delayed gratification. If you're putting in work every day towards a goal where you're waiting for the end outcome of going to college to play the sport, the tournament at the end, like there's a product that that over time you are kind of creating for that something at the end, that trophy, that banner, that title. So I mean I see it all the time. It's that, the practices. It's also when it comes to like weight room, which was my previous life, the process in which that one gets stronger doesn't happen overnight. And you see that when a freshman comes in who knows nothing to the senior who graduates and comes back and thanks you for all the work that you've done with them and what they know now.
Okay. So, do you feel as if these student athletes know what delayed gratification is? Do you think it should be taught more, or is it taught at all?
We don't I've never used the term delayed gratification.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know what it is, and I know, like, I think we as adults phrase it as life lessons to younger adults. Because I wouldn't teach it like that, and I don't think it's actually understood until late. I don't think it's understood until later, unless it's in smaller doses.
Okay.
Like, by the end of this week, I want you to, if you work on this for a week, you're gonna get this. You're gonna understand this, right? I think those pieces kids understand. But they don't understand the big dose of what that championship means until they get there, or whatever.
All right.
Does that make sense?
It does. So, as an athletic director, do you think that delayed gratification plays a role in athletics overall? And if so, how does it affect our minds when we're young?
I mean, like I said in the beginning, like, how does it affect us overall? Like, athletics is. It's a lot of work and a lot of commitment and a lot of passion for a choice to do something. You don't have to participate in any of it, but that is athletic. I mean, unless competitive sports, you don't have to compete. But if you're choosing to compete, you don't get the gratification right away. You get the camaraderie, and that's great, and you get the wins, and that's great, or losses, that's, whatever. But the gratification at the end, with a diploma in your hand and 4 years of hockey or 4 years of this or that, when you're sitting around the table in your 30s and 40s and 50s, and even as your grandparents, and you played 4 years of high school hockey at Kimball School or at wherever in college, like that's the piece you're so proud of as an adult, that you did that you accomplished this and are able to share your experiences with a younger group of people.
Habits.
You know, I don't. And what was the second part?
How does it affect our minds when we're young?
I think it's the life lessons. I think it's role models. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see somebody in the. You're gonna see someone in a position where you want to be. Someday you want to see someone. You need to follow. You need to have good role models. You need to know good role models. You need to have good examples in your life. You don't know, and you need to see some product from it, right? Like, oh, she's a great coach. She's a great athletic director. Like, I wonder how she got there. And you have to have curiosity to be able to ask questions, and like it teaches you. Being in athletics and aspiring to be something else, being greater and competing, strikes a curiosity in kids and a passion and a work ethic that I think is just, in the end, that gratification piece is invaluable. Thank you.
Okay. So, leading a healthy lifestyle is the key to like a quality of life. So, in your opinion, how does self-discipline define our health as we age in fitness?
Well, I mean, your body's your temple. If you don't take care of yourself, everyone's heard it. You lose it, or you use it, you lose it, right? So, you got to take care of your body. And if you don't know how to use it, you probably should. Because your body can do amazing things when tested. So, second part of the question? Or what's the...
Okay, in the world of fitness,
yeah.
How does our self-discipline define our health as we age?
Oh, well, I think once an athlete, always an athlete.
Oh.
You learn how to use your body and you never stop using it because you know what you're capable of in your younger years. You know how good you could be, or you were, and you always try to. I think you have a standard for yourself as a younger person, and then you continue to try to hold yourself up to it until you can't anymore. But also, your body knows how to respond to things when you're older, once you've done it as a kid. But you just might not achieve it all the time, like that 30th box jump, you know, or the 20 pull-ups you can bust out.
Okay. So, what have you noticed impacts age, sexuality, and gender in delayed gratification of athletics?
What?
All right. So, throughout time and still today, there have been many inequalities in sports.
Yep.
So, what have you noticed impacts age, sexuality, and gender in athletics?
I mean, an example like women's soccer, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be, when you get to that level of professional soccer, I mean, you have to be in that. You have to be in an age range. Yes, you're older, but no one cares if they're going to stand up for what's right because people know who they are and love everyone, right? So, you know, at that level, people can speak out and be heard, whether they're gay, straight, black, white, 40 years old or 50 years old. You think about Billie Jean King. You could write a book in your 50s about your life as a professional tennis player in a male-dominated sport, being a lesbian and having to hide it. And now, people read it and it's influential because of the paths that people trailblaze before us. So I think age, gender, sexuality, like in athletics, the older you get, the more wiser you are, and the more apt you're to speak out about it. And if you're in a promising or a high level situation, such as professional athletics, you can say whatever you want. If it's speaking up for inequality.
So, in your opinion, are students better at delayed gratification in personal fitness or team sports?
Mm-hmm. I would like to say team sports at this age, because it's a team thing. Everyone's doing it. Takes a lot of self-motivation to get in a weight room every day if you're not necessarily sure what you're doing. And, yeah. So team sports as a coach tells you what to do. It's easier to do those things than it is to look things up online or work out with your parents or whatever.
Never mind, sorry. I was looking for Margie.
Oh, she's in my office.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Kimball.
That's it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Wow.